Hey friend, welcome back to Confidence in Cappuccino. I'm Nefe and this is episode 38, The Confidence in Starting Over. If your life is nudging you into a brand new chapter and your thought is, wait, do I actually get to have this? You're in the right place. Today, I'm sharing the story of our flat move as a living, breathing example of new beginnings. Not because bricks and paint are the point, but because this season is happening in real time for me. And I think the principle translates to whatever quote unquote new you're holding: a job, study, health, parenting, recovery, creativity, moving countries, love after a breakup, all of it. So here's a quick, gentle catch up on the arc we've been on together. In episode 35, we sat with grief for the life we've imagined. In episode 36, we cracked the myth of having it all together and chose real over polished. In episode 37, we updated our background stories, those subconscious scripts that quietly steer us. So, of course, the next step is a beginning. A new page, a first key, a second bedroom with a couple of boxes and an echo. Here's how today will flow so you can relax into it. 5 little chapters, each a story and a takeaway you can apply to your version of starting over. And then a warm summing up with a tiny next step. Does that sound good? Let's go. Part 1. Tuesday night keys, the friction-free first step. It's a Tuesday night. I get back to our rental flat after work, brain mashed, shoes off halfway, and Ian, being peak Ian, has already done the most helpful thing. He's picked up the keys and he's loaded some boxes into the car so we can literally just head out. No speech, no ceremony, just let's go have a look. We drive through the soft London streetlight glow. We open the door to the new place, and it's that particular kind of quiet that only empty rooms at night can manage. It's a little eerie, a little holy. We carry the boxes straight to the second bedroom and set them down. The thud echoes. It feels like the flat saying, noted. We do a whisper tour, bedrooms, living room, kitchen, like we haven't stared at the floor plan for weeks. But seeing it at night, it's different. It's less shiny, more honest. Joy sits down first. Relief joins it. And then fear peeks from the hallway like, hey besties. They're all welcomed. We don't have mugs yet, so we sit on the floor and just breathe. That 10-minute pause is our first piece of decor. Not cushions, presents. And then the sweetest detail, on the kitchen counter, the previous residents have left printed instructions, how to charm the boiler, angels, and a note about the 2 wardrobes in the bedrooms. No, that hinge is quirky, that shelf is steady. The unknown suddenly feels friendlier, like the flat has come with a welcome guide and a wink. How this applies to your beginning. If your new is a first day at work, a return to the gym, opening up a blank document, or going to a meeting for sobriety, do the Ian thing. Lower friction 1 step. Lay out the clothes, pin the Zoom links, put your trainers by the door, title the document, schedule the ride. When courage doesn't have to trip over logistics, it walks in faster. Tiny practice. Before you start, say out loud, I'm just going to make this easy. Then do 1 prep action that takes under 5 minutes. Okay, boxes are down. Breath is taken. What happened next surprised me. Part 2. The 2-week window. Pacing as self-hospitality. We didn't move in that night. We actually owned the flat for 2 weeks before sleeping there, on purpose. Saturday 1 was a paint day. Sleeves up, playlist on, a dignified truce with the skirting board. We learned the light, how the living room glows rudely bright at 9 a.m. and the bedroom softens like a sigh at dusk. Saturday 2 was moving day. More boxes than sense, the kettle promoted to senior management, me making wildly confident decisions about where teaspoons live. That 2-week gap wasn't hesitation, it was nervous system hospitality. Newness is loud. Pacing it didn't make us slower, it made us steady. We let our bodies gather evidence. This place is safe. This routine is learnable. This change is ours. How this applies to your beginning. New job. Don't try to be culture expert on day 1. Spend week 1 learning names, maps, acronyms. Aim for 1 small improvement by Friday. Health reset. Start with 10 minutes and consistency. Let your joints and calendar trust you again before you ask for more. Study. Do a 20-minute setup section. Organize files, skim the syllabus, make a list of exam dates before diving into the content. Business or creativity. Build 1 first corner in your workflow. A template, a kit, a checklist you can open half as you sleep. Parenting or new routine. So establish a morning anchor and a bedtime anchor. Everything in the middle can be flexible. Recovery or sobriety. So stack the early days with repetition. Same meeting time, same route, same call. Rhythm is scaffolding. Tiny practice. Each time you cross a threshold, front door, desk, gym, meeting room, do the arrive breath. So inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do that for 5 rounds. This teaches your body we're safe here. Slow is not stuck. Slow is smooth, and smooth becomes fast. Part 3. Retiring the myth. Starting over isn't failure, it's an update. There's a stealthy little myth that says, if you're starting over, you must have messed up. Let's retire that with love. Beginnings aren't punishment, they're permissions. You didn't fail old you 1.0. You updated to you 2.0 with better data. Our first night in our flat looked like this. Bedside tables were used, boxes labelled random. At 1 a.m, the radiator cleared its throat like a polite ghost. I did not feel polished, but I did feel capable. Not certain, but capable. And that is such a better feeling. How this applies to your beginning. If it's career pivot or layoff, your context changed, your skills evolved. Updating course isn't failure, it's responsiveness. Break up a divorce. Your boundaries upgraded. Starting again is not regression, it's recalibration. Chronic illness or healing. Swapping protocols is not quitting, it's listening to your body's intel. Moving country or learning new language. Mistakes aren't shame, they're reps. Here's a pocket mantra that you can use. I don't need certainty. I need the next honest step. And when the brain whispers, who do you think you are? Try someone who learns quickly. I say the sentence out loud, it changes the room. Here's a confidence truth. It doesn't arrive before action. Confidence prints after, like receipts. Every time you keep a promise to yourself. So that could be call the contractor, send the CV, walk 5 minutes, open the book. That's one receipt. Part 4. Anchors that hold. Body, space, money, people, words. Beginnings wobble us. Anchors steady us. These 5 held me. Pick 2 and do them daily for 7 to 14 days. Body, the arrive breath. We've met her. Use her at thresholds, before you sit, join meetings, before you put the kettle on, before you open the studio door. Number 2, space. Corners and zones. We made a tea station, 2 mugs, a jar of tea, a spoon, a ridiculous confident pot, 1 finished square meter, softened that othering 60. So here's how it translates. A clean square of desk, a diaper caddy, a sturdy tray, a gym bag that lives packed. Number 3, money, proof of stewardship. So I set autopay for 1 boring bill and said out loud, I meet my responsibilities. It seems tiny. It told my nervous system we're okay. Translate it. So separate accounts for tax, automatic savings suite, 1 invoice template ready to send. People, 1 text, 1 neighbour. A neighbour knocked with the bin schedule and said, shout if you need a drill. 3 minutes of kindness anchored me more than any quote. So translate it. Message a teammate for a 15-minute coffee. Add 2 texts before craving numbers. Text a friend, new season, still me, how are you? So, and then number 5 is words. So rename the hard things. I have to work turns into I'm practicing energy. I'm behind turns into I'm becoming. I'm bad at this turns into I'm early at this. Language is scaffolding. Make it sturdy and kind. You can feel how this is less about willpower and more about design, right? Good. Let's walk into our messy middle together. Part 5. The messy middle. Quiet wins and letting good things land. So flat pack furniture is not DIY. It's a relationship workshop. Me. Pass part C. Also me 5 minutes later. Part C was under the instructions, obviously. We cooked the first dinner, slightly burnt onions, aggressively loud. We used boxes as bedside tables, and in between the chaos, I kept noticing this quiet wins that didn't make a reel but make a life. Quiet wins sound like I sent the boring email. I read the boiler instructions without crying. I asked 1 clarifying question at work. I went for a 10-minute walk. I brought a water bottle. I showed up to a meeting and said my name clearly. Each one is a receipt. Each one teaches your nervous system, we can handle this. Nightly practice. 3 breaks, 60 seconds. So write down 3 small things you did today that future you can stand on, not castles, bricks. If you're parenting, it could be I protected my nap time. Studying, I did 1 Pomodoro. I can never say that word. Pomodoro. Recovery, I texted before the urge got loud. Creative, I wrote 200 messy words. And this one changed me. When someone says, congratulations, I answer, thank you, I'm letting it land. Then I paused long enough to actually feel it. At first it was awkward, then it was healing. That's joy tolerance training, expanding your capacity to receive good without battling it away with a joke or batting it away with a joke. Okay, deep breath. Let's tie a gentle bow. Summing up your next steps and a warm send off. So starting over rarely looks cinematic. It looks like Ian preloading the car so the first step is easy. It looks like dropping boxes in the second bedroom on Tuesday night. It looks like owning the place for 2 weeks, painting one Saturday, moving the next, and finding boiler and wardrobe instructions from kind strangers who left breadcrumbs. Here are your takeaways distilled. 1. Lower the friction one step. Make it boring and ready. 2. Pace yourself with hospitality. Slow is smooth. Smooth becomes fast. 3. Retire the shame myth. This isn't failure, it's an update. You are someone who learns quickly. 4. Choose 2 anchors and repeat them. Breath plus 1 of space, money, people, or words. 5. Count the quiet wins. Do 3 bricks nightly and practice letting good things land. If you're standing at the doorway of a beginning, a role, a routine, a degree, a city, a decision, you don't need certainty, you need the next honest step. You are allowed to begin gently. You're allowed to become at a human pace. If this held your hand today, share it with a friend who's quietly starting over too. DM me your 3 bricks for tonight. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you've got 30 seconds, a quick review helps confidence and cappuccino find people who like their growth, warm and kind. I'm Nefe, so be kind, be gentle, and begin again. Bye!